Hello everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another tabletop video for everybody. Today we're looking at the Crosman AK1 CO2 Blowback full auto BB rifle. I haven't done the field test shooting video, that'll be next week. As it is Christmas time, New Year's is coming up, so it's going to take a little bit to get to that with some holidays coming up as well. Now if you're interested in the Crosman AK1 or any of the AR series full auto BB rifles, we do have them in our Canada and US online Replica Airgun stores over at replicaAirguns.ca and replicaAirguns.us, so you can check those links out that I'll put in the description for current prices when you're watching this video, and of course different versions and models, because as time goes by it seems that Crosman keeps introducing additional versions of these guns, which is great. So there's, I believe, 3 AR series ones, starting with the DPMSR, ending with the R1 series of AR series. And now we have this AK1 in the AK platform. Really cool. Maybe Crosman will make some more versions of these down the road. Let's get right into some of the specifications. The Crosman AK1 shoots 4.5mm steel BBs. It has full blowback operation. It uses dual 12-gram CO2 cartridges. It has a 28-round metal and plastic dropout magazine that holds the BBs and dual CO2s. It shoots in both semi and full auto selectable. It shoots up to 430 FPS with 1,400 rounds per minute coming out of the barrel. Pretty decent. The AK1 weighs in at a whopping 8 pounds and is made out of metal and plastic with a lot of external plastic, but there's going to be a lot of internal metal parts as well. I'll try and point out some of those metal parts as we go through the gun. Now, it does come with an adjustable and removable rear sight, which is adjustable for elevation only. It also has a fold-out 5-position adjustable buttstock. This gun's total length, and I'm not entirely sure if that's with the stock outer in, but it's 34.5 inches total length, so that's going to change depending on if the stock's folded out and, of course, what position that stock happens to be in. The Crosman AK1 has a non-rifled barrel, and you're going to find AK-compatible pistol grips on there, so if you want to switch those up, you can. And the flash hider on the front here is your generic reverse thread style flash hider, so you can use it with your typical Airsoft flash hider if you have any of those, or even mock suppressors. You're going to find a quad style rail on the AK1, so there's lots of places to add additional components onto this gun. As far as I know, this is not field strippable like the AR series, so you're not going to be able to remove this top cover. It doesn't come off like a standard AK. Probably just the way that this gun is designed, a limitation to how the internals worked and how, everything's set up here. They just couldn't do it, at least in this version. Maybe future versions will have something along those lines. But you are going to find a working charging handle, of course the magazine release and selector switches all working as you would find on a real steel AK. And when shooting this gun, the bolt will lock back when the magazine is empty, so you're not going to be just blasting a bunch of CO2 for no reason, so that's kind of nice. And inside the box, you're going to find a speed loader, which you're going to need, a manual, which you may or may not need, and a little Allen key that you can use to take off that rear sight if you don't want it on there. Like for instance, I have this guy here, this pop-up red dot, really compact pop-up red dot. Didn't come with this gun, but I'm going to be using it when I do the field test shooting video. I thought it looked kind of neat. Doesn't really take away too much from the gun. It's pretty compact. With this on here, I can't use the front sight, so I could take it off, but I thought I'd leave it on for this tabletop video. It's not really in the way. And one last thing, this gun is made in Taiwan, like most of these air rifles and airsoft guns that I review. Okay, let's take a quick look at the box. I can't really get it all in. Pretty tough, but you'll see here, velocity up to 430 FPS, 1,400 rounds. There's your steel BBs, those ones happen to be copper. There's your speed loader, blowback action, right? Nice picture of the gun. Let's take a quick look at the back. All right, so you see here, it's got the quad rail information, adjustable rear sight. You've got your drop down magazine, holds 2 power LEDs, so CO2s, cartridges, spring-fed 28 BB system, rapid fire selection. And then we have adjustable and folding 5-position AR-compatible stock, AK-compatible pistol grips, and of course the speed loader. All right. Just show you that speed loader. Okay, so you throw your BBs in the top there, right there, right? Pop that closed. Just push them in. That usually tracks down the magazine. Like most of them, that'll fit in the magazine, sort of fits on top and helps you just quickly load those up. You're gonna need this for sure. 28 rounds in full auto is gonna happen pretty quickly. Now you do get this just basic manual here with an Allen key that's just taped to it. That's for the rear sight as far as I can tell. And of course, you know, just basic instructions. It's upside down. They're kind of tiny. I can't really show you too much, but it's going to show you how to use the gun. Load it up, select the, use the selector switch, things like that, okay? So you can read through that when you get it. Probably a good idea. All right, at this point, I'm going to do a walk around. I'm going to take the magazine right out right now because it is hard to get out, and I'm just going to do it once here because it's tough. So hold on, let me, okay. I'm getting better at it, but it's hard to do in front of the camera. I don't want to smash the camera or anything. You really have to give it a good yank when you're pulling it out. It is tight. So I hold this and just give it a good pull when I do it. It seems to work pretty good. But let's start with the magazine since it is out here. So of course you've got your, you know, this is your, basically this is where the BB comes out, right? And that's your valve at the other side there. Now to load it up, other way. Okay, so to load it up, you've got your dual CO2. What's nice about all these Crosman full auto BB guns, so the AR and AK platform, is they do come with this Allen key. Generally speaking, you have to do one first. Show you that. You can see that one says first, so you put the CO2 in both, tighten that one first and that one second, okay? And then you're gonna get the full capacity, I guess you'd say. Some people have even said you don't have to put the second one in. You can just put the first one in as long as you tighten that one. But I would just use two at the same time. You're going to need it. The CO2 will cool down pretty quick in full auto mode, so you're going to want two. It'll just be more efficient that way. Okay, so once those are in there, of course, you can put your Allen key back in and then pop your cover back on. And you're good to go. Okay, so we're gonna leave that off to the side just to keep everything compact here so it's not taking up so much room on my desk. All right, let's take a look at the right side first. Okay, so you do have your selector switch. That's gonna be safe. And then all the way down is semi-auto, so it's easy to do right away. And if you want full auto, you just pop it up one. So it's gonna be kind of hard if you wanna go quick. See how easily it just went down there? So you have to be a little more, you know, tricky with getting it into full auto. So just make it easy. It's all the way down and you're ready to go full auto. One pop up, or sorry, semi-auto. One pop up is full auto. Okay, so you have your charging handle, right? It will lock back a little bit like that when the magazine's in and it's empty, right? As soon as you put a magazine in, it'll go all the way, okay? And as you can see, you need the bolt charged in order to pull the trigger. So then you can pull the trigger and then it'll blow back and charge automatically. So you do have this adjustable sight here. You can pull it up to get higher elevation further down range. So it's going to raise the barrel and get further out shots for close shots all the way back. It is not adjustable for windage though, just elevation. So let's take a quick look. Now this suppressor or whatever, flash hider, whatever you want to call it, is reverse threaded. Okay, so you can take it off. It is the normal threading that you would find with your typical airsoft rifles. And get this on. There we go. Okay, so I'm doing reverse thread to get it back on. There it is. Okay, I'm not sure if I like this or not. It's okay. I'd like to maybe have a metal one just to get the weight up even higher, maybe get a little more front end weight on it. But it's pretty good overall. So we just going over the metal, you can see some of this internal, the bolt, the charging handle, and internal parts are going to be metal. The trigger guard is metal, the trigger's metal, the selector switch is metal. This receiver area is plastic. Okay, a lot of the screws are going to be metal. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100%, but this part here, portion here might be metal. Feels like it might, but this might be plastic. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Let's do the old clank test. Plastic, metal, 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 okay? Plastic. So if you kind of hit it with something metal, you can tell. So that's metal, that's metal. This is going to be metal here, this ring, obviously. And then this front little sight portion is plastic. And then the threading would be metal, and then this is plastic here. All the rail section is plastic, but the internal barrel is probably going to be metal. This rear sight is, or the rear sight is metal. The buffer tube is metal, although it's not really a buffer tube, but it looks like it. Part of the fold-out stock. The actual stock is plastic. Okay, you can see it's fully adjustable. Now, just to let you know, it locks back. You need to push that in to close it. but it doesn't really stay. There's no like little clip or anything. It would have been nice if there was some sort of a clip in there just to hold it in place, but not a huge deal because once you're shooting, it's going to be back anyways, obviously, okay? Let's take a look closer up here. So again, all this plastic. This hinge is metal here, right? Pistol grips, plastic, of course. Metal trigger guard, metal release, magazine release, metal trigger. You can see it's all metal inside. So there's lots of metal inside. It's just the external housing. That's why this gun's pretty heavy, because there is a lot of metal in it. Just the outer, casing isn't. Not a big deal at the end of the day. All right, let's finish this review up with some pros and cons. Overall, it's a pretty realistic working AK 4.5mm BB rifle. Pretty much the only BB AK rifle on the market, at least full auto with blowback action. Again, you're gonna find that blowback operation with both semi and full auto shooting ability, and you should be able to feel a little bit of blowback action as you do with the other AR series. There's a little bit of rocking of the gun, not a huge amount because it's just the internal bolt moving back and forth. And the gun being 8 pounds, it's gonna have a limited effect on it. Overall, that 8 pounds is going to give this gun a nice realistic weight, and almost everything works exactly like the real steel version. The charging handle, the magazine release selector switch. And it's nice that it comes with that dual CO2 full-size magazine that holds the 28 rounds, so you can get additional magazines. Possibly Crosman will come out with a higher capacity one or an auto-loading one like they do have with the AR series that came out recently that has like a hopper that you can then kind of speed load without using a speed loader, so you can reload the 25 rounds. At least the AR series is 25 rounds. You got this hopper with a whole bunch of rounds ready to go. Hopefully Crosman does something like that with this AK series. I like the 5-position adjustable fold-out buttstock. And it's nice that it has AK compatible pistol grips in case you want to change those up for something a little different. And it's nice that the rear sight is removable and adjustable for elevation on the fly. And again, you're going to find lots of rail mounting options with the quad rail system that comes with this AK1. And even though I didn't really demonstrate very well this flash hider that it can come off, that it's compatible, I didn't have the right one to show you, but just take my word for it, it does work. I have put other flash hiders on this one already from my airsoft rifles. All right, we'll go over some of the cons. The receiver is plastic, but it's all well made and doesn't really compromise the feel or weight since there's a ton of metal inside the gun weighing at just about 8 pounds. Now this gun doesn't come apart or really is field strippable in any way like you'd normally be able to find an AK, but come on, it's gonna be pretty tough to do that like your standard AK. And it would have been nice if there was some sort of a little clip that the fold-out stock went into when it was closed so that it didn't just flop around. All right, so if you're interested in the Crosman AK or the AR series of full auto BB rifles, we again do have them in our Canada and US online replica airgun stores over at replicaairguns.ca and replicaairguns.us, so check the links out in the description. I'll also put a link to my written post for this gun where I'll have some additional photos for you to check out, maybe some more information there that I might have left out in the video, so check that out if you have a chance. And if you're interested in other products, air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories, check out replicaairguns.ca if you live in Canada or replicaairguns.us if you live in the US. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.